There's a very, very clear reason why forgiveness is so important and why it works and is so necessary for us to do in order for us to be healed, in order for us to be forgiven and complete and healed. And remember, I'm talking today, this is about healing from abuse. And I believe that forgiveness is actually the biggest key to healing. So it's much more than Jesus did. Oh, we just got to do it because Jesus said so. No, the reason why it's so important as well is because forgiveness and us forgiving our abuser or forgiving those who wound us is the biggest key to healing. In fact, I think it's necessary. I don't think you can get healed without working on forgiveness in your own soul. Okay. And so the reason why I call this the upside down path to healing is because it is so counterintuitive. It is so counter our natural human instinct, right? I mean, because you think the world tells us that unforgiveness is fine. Wanting to get revenge on somebody who hurt you, that's fine. They make movies about that. But that is not how the kingdom of God works. And that is not how healing works. And that's why, people who have all of these wounds and they feed on them are so unhappy and they're so angry, because they're so unhealed. So yeah, I mean, the world tells you that it's okay to be angry. It's okay to, why should you forgive? You're the one that got hurt. You're the one who got wounded. Why should you forgive the person who hurt you? What sense does that make? The world would say that, okay, if you're the one who needs healing, then you need to get your needs met. You need people to be nice to you and do things that meet all of your needs. And, you need to do all the self-care. And, that's what the world tells you in order to get healing. God says you need to forgive. And so here's how that works. And there's a very, very clear reason for it. So because as long as you are holding on to the unforgiveness that has risen up in your soul because somebody has done something bad to you, okay? Some offense, some bad thing has happened to you. And as long as you are hanging on to that unforgiveness inside of you, then you are still underneath the curse of that bad thing that somebody did to you. Okay. It's like you are by hanging on to that unforgiveness, your soul is chained to whatever that thing is that person did to you, that abuse or whatever, whatever that terrible thing is. You're chained to it. And as long as your soul is chained to that terrible thing, whatever it was, then your soul is stuck there and you cannot move forward. You cannot get beyond that and to grow. And that will affect you in every area of your life. And so we've already talked about how it will give rise to the vengeance and the hatred and bitterness and all of that stuff. So that's one thing. But it also, it's deeper than that even. It's this soul condition. It's that you are putting yourself within this cage of the offense that somebody else did to you. You are giving them all of the power over you, over your health, over your well-being, over your wholeness, and every, your happiness, your joy, by hanging on to this unforgiveness. So the only way to be completely released and break that chain, unchain yourself from that curse of that offense, whatever happened to you, is by forgiving. It's the only way to completely erase it out of your soul and let God take care of it. And God will help you with that. So when this is true, even of people who respond to this sort of woundedness, and if people are mean to them, there's a lot of people who respond by, instead of getting all mad and everything, they respond by trying to push it down, shove it down as far away out of their mind as possible. They don't deal with it. They just, they just, a lot of men do that because that's what they're trained to not respond emotionally in any way. So you just push it down. So if you do that, even if you do that, that offense, that if you have unforgiveness deep down inside somewhere, it's still there. And it will affect you in all kinds of ways. For the rest of your life, it will cause you to have trust issues so that it will affect every relationship that you have. So there's no way around it. It's even though it's a painful thing to do, the only way to be completely healed and freed from the woundedness, these curses of the things, the mean things that happen, that people do to you, the things that happen to us in this harsh world that we live in, is by practicing forgiveness, by working through it, by going through it, giving it to God piece by piece, and releasing it with forgiveness. So that is why forgiveness works. So it's actually, and you know what, you're doing this. This does not benefit at all the person who hurt you. Okay. A lot of times the person who hurt you doesn't even know that you're going through this process, trying to work through forgiveness. This is for you. This is for your soul. So, I mean, you can actually think of it as kind of a selfish act. You're doing it for you. You're not doing it to help the other person who hurt you, because they probably are not even going to have any idea. So it's for you. So, but it's the same kind of selfish act as it is to like seek Jesus, because it's so good for you. So that's a good kind of selfishness. So Jesus tells us to do this. So we must work toward forgiveness.